Syndicated presents Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian.
What is up? He is Shep. I am Sean. Good evening. Hi, Shep. Can I ask you a question? I mean, I know that John Morton is the root of all evil. I know that. I get that. All right. But it was kind of funny. Two things can be true. The Lions heading into that game were the highest scoring offense in the NFC, points per game. And coming out of that game, they were the highest scoring offense, point per game. Conference. Your dog 1,000% agrees with me. Your dog does not argue facts. But can we say that it also looked different too?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, I've got two dogs going crazy because somebody's dropping something off the front porch. Yes, 100%. I think you're right about that. I do believe that it looked different. It looked closer to what we saw in the games against Baltimore and Chicago. It's not like John Morton didn't do anything, right? I mean, he was able to have some success. And my apologies. I'm going to leave you for one quick moment because my daughter's arriving from college. I'll be right back.
God bless her. No, that's absolutely the
I'm
case.
I'm home by myself. Hold on.
Shep. That's quite all right. I think we can all relate to that. And we can all relate to yelling at the dogs too. You should see I am a world-class yeller at the dogs. My dogs love to bark. And you know what? This will give me a time. Lions, got right. Scooble isn't getting traded. How's that? Scooble sticking around. I still don't believe it. I'm not going to lie. And I seriously, Shep, I don't believe it, but we'll get into that a little bit.
I don't believe it either. So I apologize. Real quick. Yeah, I think Dan Campbell did the right thing. Okay. CEOs recognize what's going right and what's going wrong. And so you fix what is happening. It doesn't mean that John Morton's not involved in the offense. It doesn't mean that, all is lost in their relationship or anything like that. I had a friend of ours, Jeff Jenick as well. Mm-hmm. He was on my show this morning, and I asked him, because he's been a play caller for a long time, worked at Northwestern, Wisconsin, and Cal, and Eastern Michigan. What is it that offensive coordinators are doing while the head coach is, making the play calls? And he said, look, he's given him certain situations. Mondays and Tuesday, he went through the whole routine of what these guys do and how they then map out certain plays. So he's giving him the list of plays he thinks might be successful. They're looking at various sets that they're recognizing that the opposition is doing. So it's not like he's not involved. He's just not making the play calls. He doesn't have to answer to anybody. Dan Campbell doesn't. So he can take some more risks. And it worked out great. I hope it continues against Philadelphia.
So good evening, guys. Good to see you guys back on YouTube, on Woodward. Thank you. To all the military personnel out there, servicing both countries, thank you for your service. 1,000%. Shame on me for not saying that right away. I could not agree with you more. And you people and your milk and honey, I'll go all Don Cherry on you as well. Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to clone your dogs like Brady when you get mega rich? Okay. I would clone my dogs. I'm not going to lie. I would clone.
Well, your dogs would love that. There's no doubt about that.
I would clone my dogs. Shep, everything is fixed. Everything is okay. I mean, look, this regular season was going to be different because we weren't going 15-2. Okay. It just wasn't happening. It doesn't work that way in the National Football League. Mm-hmm. And you knew we were going to see some highs and we were going to see some lows. And let's face it, a couple of those lows were really low. I mean, the Minnesota game, even though it was a 3-point game, I was watching the Vikings on Sunday and I was literally mad at myself. I was going, how did we lose to him? How did we lose to drop the J.J. McCarthy stuff? Okay, just for a little bit.
You mean 9, Sean? You mean 9, right? Not J.J. McCarthy. 9.
Okay. 9. Yeah. Good gosh. But Shep, as far as I'm concerned, this team is right where they want to be, and I love the chances they have against Philadelphia.
I do too. I especially after watching Philly last night. I've said this on the Brilliant Edwards show, and you said it in the morning. There's a lot of warts on a lot of different teams.
Yep.
Every fan base right now is going, I'm not so sure if we're matched up against Team A or Team B, if I'm totally confident, right? I mean, there are some bad losses for New England, bad losses for Indianapolis, bad losses for everybody. Okay, I get that. I don't think everything's fixed because Washington had like the 29th worst defense in all of football. But I did like how they spread the ball around. I did like the different things that they did. They seemed like they were more in rhythm. Even when guys went out, when Tristan Cologne came in for Graham Glasgow, they ran right behind him. When Penny Sewell left and Dan Skipper came in, they didn't miss a beat. They weren't scared. They stayed aggressive. You saw guys open more. I mean, Jameson Williams was open more. Jahmyr Gibbs was open more. I just thought it was a much clearer and better flow to the offense.
1,000%. And I think they needed it. And you know what? One can even go as far when you saw the gratitude that a lot of the players were showing. I think that tells you all you needed. I thought Jared Goff in particular at the end of the game, and that Shep, like you said, I'm not saying that this is the Anthony Lynn scenario. I'm not insinuating that, but yeah. You know what? Both things can be true. This offense wasn't as bad as some people made it out to be, but it did get better. And Washington's awful, by the way. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, they are awful. But if you don't beat them, what is everybody saying?
100%.
Right? I mean, that's what people in Green Bay right now, they're freaking out because look at who they lost to. They lost to Carolina, who just got their butt kicked. They lost to Cleveland, who's not very good. I mean, we can play that game every single day, right? We can look at it and go, how in the hell did the Colts lose to the Steelers? And then the Steelers look so inept in the last couple of games, right? I'm just encouraged by what we're seeing from both sides of the ball, quite honestly. I just would like to see some guys get back and healthy before December, even though I know a lot of them are jettisoned for December. And the hope is that Detroit can get a 1 seed like they did a year ago, because I think going to Philly in January is going to be really challenging. Going to LA, although they don't have a great home field advantage, can be really challenging. And you and I both know going to Seattle is going to be really, really difficult.
I want to get to that in just a second. By the way, All About Catering LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, anything you need catering for, from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. So don't switch your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see their menus and all their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Hello, friends, to Jason. Go Habs Go from Chris. They're playing the Kings right now. Shep, I brought this up on the show this morning because if you aren't paying attention to what Matthew Stafford is doing, shame on you. He is. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Aaron Rodgers 6-7 years ago, where, they didn't necessarily win a championship, but some of the numbers he put up were just eye-popping because, you get to that age where you just don't make mistakes like you used to. You just don't make those mistakes. And Matthew Stafford, Lord knows we would all make the joke, okay, when's he going to mix in the pick six and giggle, giggle. What is it, 25-2 right now, I think, touchdown to interception ratio?
Yep.
Are we sleeping on the Seattle Seahawks? I asked the 3 guys that I work with this morning, and they all kind of paused for a second and went, yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, I'm not. I quite honestly think they're the best team in the NFC right now, offensively and defensively. They've got a really good mix. They've got a really good play caller. Mike McDonald's done a really good job with the defense. I think the Rams' offense is scary, and I love their front of their defense, but I think Seattle has better balance. But if I told you that Seattle, the Rams, the Patriots, I'm going to go that far, are the best teams in football, I think you'd probably agree with me, wouldn't you? I mean, those 3 teams are the teams to beat right now. Mike Vrabel, as I predicted before the season began, he's going to be coach of the year. Drake May's in that MVP conversation, Sean, and so is Jonathan Taylor. I think as of right now, through week 10, I know we've got 7-8 weeks left. So, but those 3 guys, Matthew Stafford's he's unreal. I mean, when you're the first quarterback in history to throw 3 consecutive regular season games of 4 touchdowns and no picks, that's telling you something, man. I mean, when think about this, Sean, the win Sunday for him, he finally got to 500 in his career. It's 115 up, 115 down, and 1 tie, I believe. He's now at 500. That's the things that people in Detroit, you and I took the calls every day. The things that people always said was, he's got a losing record. Well, not anymore.
Yeah.
And you can't win with him. He can put up numbers. What was the nickname for him, Sean? Stanford?
Pad Stanford. Yeah.
Pat Stanford.
At Stanford.
Well, those pad stats has earned him a ring, MVP conversation twice now with the Rams, and, by the way, a chance at getting back there again. So I'm happy for him. I really am. Doesn't mean I want them to beat the Lions, but I'm happy for him.
And it's both things can be true. I can sit back and acknowledge I always thought he was a fantastic quarterback, and he's proving it. And Shep, at the same time, do I want to do over? No, I don't want to do over.
Yeah,
That is a rare win-win. The Rams got what they wanted, and until we win a Super Bowl, the Rams won that deal. I will say that adamantly. Okay,
you're right, Sean. You're 100% right. How do you argue with that?
I don't want to do over either. I don't want to do over.
I don't either. I wouldn't want to do over for him either, because it just seems like he's in a better place.
Yep.
And you know what? Jared Goff's in a better place.
100%.
So you're right. The best trades are win-wins for both teams. This was a win-win for both teams. Detroit does have to pay it off for the Super Bowl, though.
Yep. Brian Dable went out to get his mail after being fired, and that was news. But did you see that stat the other day after they blew that game? So this year alone, they led late in games where they had a 98.3 chance to win, 96.3, and if I'm not exact, but like 95.8 or something.
Yeah.
And they went 0-3.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's telling right there. Like, he tried to hitch the wagon to Jackson Dart, and he's going to be his buddy, and I'm going to love him up on the sideline like Jim Harbaugh does with Justin Herbert, and this is all going to play out well for what you can't hide is how bad your team performs in those types of winning situations. You could make the argument that the Giants could be close to 500.
Yeah.
And he has trickled it away. So shame on him. I know he's not real well liked by a lot of people, but he was a pretty good OC in Buffalo. I saw a lot of people quickly on social media. The Lions should hire him. Just pump the brakes, man. They built a culture there. There's certain people who have to fit in.
I want to get to Tiger Logic in a second. I love Tiger Logic.
Can we finish up a little Lions logic real quick?
Yeah. By the way, speaking of bad losses, how about the Bills to the Dolphins? Man, when the Bills stink, they stink. When Josh decides he wants to stink, he really stinks.
Oh my God. That's another good one. I mean, how bad was that? I mean, who saw that coming, right? But I don't know I know you saw this, but during our show, it broke. And that was that Amon-Ra St. Brown, there's video that he punched Deron Payne first. There's a forearm shimmy in which they both look like they connected on a forearm. And then St. Brown swings and Payne's head goes back.
Yeah.
So unless he's Tom Cruise in the latest Mission Impossible movie, where he's able to, just time that up and, pull a Rocky Balboa in Rocky 3 and fake it, or St. Brown should be facing some type of punishment coming up here if the league is going to review it.
I agree. And we were having a fun conversation because Shep, I love one of my favorite things. And we always laugh at the NFL when people tell us we didn't see what we saw, and we all saw what we saw.
We've told that a lot lately, aren't we?
Yeah, was it a punch? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what you're looking at. Oh, okay. If that happened to Amon-Ra St. Brown, my guess is people would go absolutely ballistic.
If there was video of Juju doing that in the Brian Branch moment, people would lose their mind. People would lose their mind. That's what precipitated it. It's
great example. Let me say this. If Jameson Williams did that, I think Lions fans would be like, boy, is he stupid. We like Amon. You like him. I like him. I don't know a Lions fan who doesn't like and respect Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a phenomenal receiver. He's one of the best the franchise has ever had. Okay. There's Calvin Johnson, there's Herman Moore, and then you could make the argument that Amon-Ra St. Brown. That doesn't mean that you should be blinded by your Lions faith.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that just because you're a Lions fan that this team can do no wrong. If he punched him, and he did, you have to be blind if you don't think he punched him. He should be punished accordingly. And you better prepare for it Sunday night against Philadelphia. Isaac Tesla will probably get more than one target against the Eagles if Amon-Ra St. Brown ain't suiting up because of a stupid, emotional, and undisciplined play. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Can't do it. Russell Wilson was the Grim Reaper coming for Dable at the end. Shep, when these quarterbacks die, they die. There are so many, like Russell was such an exciting quarterback. I mean, he's been dead for years, let's be honest. But when these quarterbacks, I always make the joke, like Drew Brees a couple of years ago, remember he couldn't throw anymore. And then after the year ended, like Drew Brees came out and said, hey man, I got something to tell you. My arm died during the year. No, true. It didn't look like it, but when these quarterbacks go, they go. And that it's funny you say that, 40 Gumble, because I was watching that game, of course, rooting against the Bears with everything I have. And you saw Russ coming in, you're like, oh, damn it, this is going to leave the door open. And there we were. Yeah. What do you think about, the Tigers don't let news out there, as you know, Shep. They
unless it's Lynn Henning.
Yeah. Yes. Ask Scott Herrick. They don't get news out there. Magically, two of the big names in MLB reporting said the Tigers are not expected to shop Tarek Skubal until the deadline.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think it might also be a ploy where somebody like, say, the Mets says, well, I'm making a phone call anyway. I am going to make a phone call, and I don't want to play. I don't want to play this game. I am going to go all in now. I don't want it to be some bidding more and everything. I don't know. I'm intrigued to hear what you think about that, because everything that I had heard for a couple months was this was something that was probably going to be done sooner rather than later. And there isn't a Skubal window, as you know.
I think they're going to listen. I do find it interesting that one guy like Steve Phillips, who used to be the Mets general manager, puts together some type of Mets bidding possibility for Tarek Skubal, and everybody at MLB Network and some of the people who have connections there suddenly start tweeting about it. I'm telling you, says Lauren Shahadi, I'm telling you, Skubal's going to the Mets. Really? That's what her co-host, really? I wonder where she got that, because, Steve Phillips. And where did he get it? Where does he think? He's got still connections with the Mets. If I'm the Tigers, I am listening long and hard to as many offers as possible. I think you have to do your due diligence. The suggestion that Steve Phillips had from the Mets, to me, would not be enough, because there's only one of their top 10 prospects. No, I'm sorry, one top 100 prospect. They got a one other one, and then they've got Brett Beatty in there, and then a utility infielder, which I think would be ridiculous. So I think you have to do it, because despite what everybody says on social media, just pay him $425 million. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's ridiculous. I would, if I said to you, Sean, I'm going to pay you somebody who works for your company who shows up 20% of the time and completes their shift once in their 4-year career, would you pay them more than anybody else? I mean, right. Tarek Skubal has one complete game. I'm not saying it's his fault, by the way.
Right.
Okay. But that's the way baseball is. He's got one complete game. He won 13 games this year, won 18 last year. Good. And sometimes that can be a very misleading statistic. But he's playing 20% of the games. Okay. I just don't understand how people can feel like that is money well spent.
If the Mets threw in the Tubby Temptress, I might be persuaded. And if you don't remember who the Tubby Temptress is, Google is your friend. Just look it up. I am not going to put Shep on the spot. That wasn't fair to Shep. He is professional. I am not. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Can I tell you about...
You can make people uncomfortable, sometimes.
Can I tell you about Lindsay Broadwell? Lindsay Broadwell is the person that you need if you're looking for a house. Well, first of all, the house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and you need a pro. Lindsay grew up in the area. She's an expert in all facets of the business, and when it's time to move, Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyers. Make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. Shep, I have to ask you one thing. Hold on a second. Let me. What do you make about Skubal being in Arizona watching AFL baseball? What effect, if any?
Nothing. I think he's just there to watch baseball. Sure, he's probably, watching Kevin McGonigal, which is great, and he's been really good. Watching Max Anderson, great. He's been really good. I don't read into it like, hey, I'm here to watch future teammates. This means I'm staying in Detroit, if that's what Kevin's getting at.
What effect, if any, do you think the impending 2027 lockout has on the Skubal scenario? EJ, that's a great question.
It is a great question. What do you think?
I would say yes. And because Shep, now you are probably, I'm not going to say probably, you are more connected than I am, okay? And I really don't think the average fan understands the Armageddon that we're coming to with baseball. I really truly don't. I think you and I have touched on it a little bit. So
Yeah, we have. I don't know how it's going to end. Nobody does, I suppose. I don't know what the end game is, and that's my frustration. Do you want a cap? Players don't. Do you want a floor? Owners don't unless they have a cap. I think it's borderline malpractice for an owner to spend $80 million on his payroll, and other owners in the same league are spending $300 million plus. It's just not right. Something's off balance there. I don't expect everybody to be level. That's ridiculous. Okay. Not everybody can be the same, but there has to be a more competitive balance financially than anything else when you're all making X amount of dollars from certain TV networks and so on. I get it. The Dodgers and the Yankees and the Mets make more money off their broadcast rights. The Red Sox make more money off their broadcast rights. But the discrepancy isn't so great that you can't make up a little bit of that financial ground. I don't know what the end game is, Sean. I don't know what they hope to accomplish. And all they're going to do is hurt the sport even more. With that said, that doesn't mean that Tarek Skubal is going to be a free agent after next year and say, my asking price has suddenly been sliced in half. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Shep, by the way, as Tom pointed out, the top 25, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama in the playoff poll. 5 through 12 is Georgia, Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas comes in at 10. Let me see who 11 is. It doesn't say 11 and 12. They didn't show the whole damn thing, so I'm looking for it right now. And then Vandy comes in at 14. Michigan comes in at 18. So there you go.
Okay, man. Michigan's just a good football team. They're not a great football team by any stretch. I agree. They won't. Look. Nobody thought they'd beat Ohio State last year, so they could beat Ohio State. Maybe they could beat Ohio State this year. If they did, then they deserve consideration for
100%. Yep.
You and I have talked about this ad nauseum for years. This doesn't solve squat.
Nope.
12 teams has not solved a damn thing, folks, and it's not going to. Okay,
Nope.
And you know what? It's going to be the same next year. Okay, and then what? And how much further do you think you need to go? Is 16 going to be a different? I don't get it.
24. I bet you that's where they're at. 24. Yeah, I'm serious, Shep. I bet you that's where they end.
So you think they end at 24?
Mm-hmm.
How long are these kids going to be expected to play football?
D2, I've always laughed at the hypocrisy because the D2 has been like that. When we went to the championship game with Wayne State, we went from the second week of November until a few days before Christmas. It was 16 games. It was a professional schedule. And This was back in the day where what was the guy's name? Bill Hancock would say, that's not fair to the student athlete. And I'd go, well, clearly what you're telling me then is the D1 student athlete is more important than the D2 the student athlete. And that's really cool.
Well, last year, how many games did Ohio State play? 15?
Is that what it was? I
thought it was. I mean, you get the Big Ten championship game, right? You play 12 regular season games, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then you get the Big Ten championship game. That's 13. Then they had to play 3 games, okay, to win a championship. Or maybe it was 4 because they beat.
I'm looking it up right now. Talk amongst yourselves.
So 13 before the playoff. And
14 and 2. They played 16 games, just like Wayne State did. Isn't that funny?
So there you go. So
unbelievable.
So if you go 24, Sean.
Yeah. That's Wayne State had to play 16.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you go to a 2014, that's deep. You're going to go. You're going to go at least 16 games.
Yep, that's exactly what they did. They had to play in the first round, and we went to 16 games. Right. We finished 12-4.
What I would tell anybody who would listen, billionaires aren't listening to you and I. No offense. Go buy a conference. That's what I would do. If I were a billionaire, I'd join my other billionaire friends like you. Go to your house in Aspen. Have your private plane pick me up first and foremost.
Come on.
I want to spend money.
Come on, jump on.
And then let's buy a conference. Let's buy the ACC. Let's buy the Big 12. Let's buy the Big 10. Let's buy the SEC. Employ all these kids and have our own broadcast rights.
Yep.
That's what I would do, because
Yep.
I think it's headed that way anyway. I think they have no idea, Sean, if they did go to 24. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing. No idea the path that
It's
they're
amazing.
creating and what they see as an end game. It's ridiculous.
Very quickly before we get out of here, you mentioned I don't know if your daughter's coming home for a holiday just yet, or she's just coming home to say
She's
hi.
coming home because she got an interview tomorrow.
Okay, God bless her. Good luck.
Yeah.
Shep, you know what I tell my kids all the time? I always loved Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was always high up there and everything. But being a father and having your kids come home a couple days before Thanksgiving from college was the greatest thing on earth. And I've tried to explain that to them. I said, I never thought that anything could rival Christmas Eve for me. Christmas Eve's like my favorite day of the year by a mile, and not even close. Okay. And Thanksgiving is right there because of that reason. When, my son would come home from DePaul, and, now Lauren comes home from Michigan State, and you see their car pulls up, and I have no problem saying it, that amount of swelling that you get in your chest, and then magically these liquidy things start to fall out of your eyes. I don't know what they are.
Is this salt? What is
Yeah,
this?
it maybe there's salt in my eye. I don't know. And I've explained that to my kids. I said, you'll never quite understand that. So especially for guys like us that grew up around here and, Thanksgiving Day traditions, which, by the way, I'm still furious that they moved that game to 1:00. I'm without words. I'm that
You
guy.
wanted it at 12?
It's 12:30. It's always been 12:30. Shep, I never in a million years thought that like anything would rival it. There's nothing like those kids coming home at holiday time. Nothing.
I agree. The only thing I would add to what you said, which was perfect, is I love the build up to it.
Mhm.
And there's almost a little sorrow for me when the holiday actually does arrive, because I love the build up. Oh my God, she's going to be here tomorrow. And then when they're there, it's like, okay, now I just want this day to go as slow as possible.
Yep.
It's Christmas Eve. I love the build up to Christmas Eve. I love probably as much as that. I probably like the week before, just because of the anticipation.
Yeah.
And then when Christmas is over, Christmas afternoon, I'm just looking around like, God, I'm kind of bummed right now. And I shouldn't be.
100%.
I appreciate everything, but I can't help it sometimes. The emotion gets the most of me.
My family gets so mad at me because I'll go like at maybe 2:00, 3:00 in the afternoon on Christmas Day. I'll go, it's all over. And they'll go, what are you talking about? There's 10 more hours. And I go, nope, it's over.
It's going to go by fast. I know.
It's over. See you guys soon. Come back and visit your old man.
Can't wait for 365 days from now. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Shep, go enjoy time with your daughter. No doubt about that.
Thanks,
we'll
brother.
talk next week. Thanks
see
to you guys as well.
Thanks
God
to you,
bless
and thanks to
you.
Todd. Appreciate you guys. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, there. See, watch. And we'll talk hockey on Thursday, right? Bye. No, really. Watch.
Shep and Sean, featuring Matt Shepard and Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Still Alive by Anti-Ghost. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.